Good morning. How are you, Teresa?
Hello. Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm happy to be here with you. And we did try different things to be able to do a live. So this is going to be unscripted and unedited, just to let everybody know. But I'm really happy to talk to you today. And one of the things that I did want to start our conversation with this morning is about the workshop that you did. And how what it meant for me as I experienced it. Um, so first, go ahead and reintroduce yourself and talk a little bit about the workshop that you gave and maybe what it was, the intention behind the
Mm-hmm.
workshop.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, hi everybody. I'm Teresa for anybody that does not know me. I'm a psychic medium, I'm an astrologer, I'm a mentor, and it was the 7th, 8th, and 9th of October. I don't know. That was like a couple of weeks ago,
Mhm.
I think. I'm like lost on time. I did a 3-day workshop series called Energetic Unblocking. And the purpose was to just really dive deep into the results of my quiz, because I do have a quiz with the four major energetic blocks that women have. So we kind of dove deep into each of the archetypes and the blocks that are associated with each archetype, how to unblock it, what does it actually mean to have that block, and what it's preventing us in terms of our lives and our careers. So that was pretty much day one. And then day two, we dove a little bit deeper into how we can show up for ourselves, right? How we can show up for our healing journey. What does that even mean? We talked a little bit about past conditioning, meaning all the shit that we kind of learned growing up that we need to unlearn as adults. And then day three, we talked a little bit more about how to actually move on in life, how to actually create the life we want and the careers and the jobs we want to have and deserve, and how much building self trust is important, right? For me and my programs, self trust is a non negotiable
Mhm.
because I do believe that if you don't trust yourself, the decisions you're making, the life changing decisions you're making, they're not going to stuck, right? You need to build that trust in yourself. You need to have confidence in yourself and in the decisions you're making. You need to understand the difference between making decisions that are based on fear and in making decisions that are based in your intuition, right? So first of all, you need to know the difference so that you can make decisions that feel good and don't just look good for other people, but actually feel good for you because it is your life ultimately, right? It is your career. And then how to actually move forward in a way that you feel confident making those decisions, in a way that those decisions kind of last a long time. And for me, the key is building self trust. So that's very non negotiable in my programs. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that. For me, self-trust is everything, right? And I didn't always have it in my life. And we've taken a lot of the same courses. We've talked about this before publicly. Um, but for me, what I haven't necessarily shared with everybody, like, or any, um, outside of the people that are really close to my inner circle is, all right, so we're going to get vulnerable. And right, that was part of something that I learned during your program, during your workshop, was that it that I had the conditioning of vulnerability as weakness. And so for everybody that doesn't know, I do have a degenerative spine disease that I've that really started kind of in my 30s. And so it's been a long journey. And oh, okay. And it affects both my upper spine and my lower spine. And so when I had an exacerbation that I experienced, fuck, in September, I think the beginning of September, it scared me because I wasn't able for at least a few days. I wasn't really able to use my arms at all. I couldn't even really hold my phone. And that was hard for me, especially at the beginning of starting a YouTube channel, starting a new path, being able to speak publicly about what I believe and um, feeling some guilt around that, not being able to show up for everybody else consistently. But then during your workshop, it was so beautiful, right? I was able to experience part of myself in a really different manner. And I'm probably going to get emotional just because it was so profound for me. When you had asked us, right, our sun, moon, rising, yes, we've studied astrology and I know those parts very well. Like I know my chart very well. But the human design part, I've never really dived into. And so to understand my human design mechanism and what that meant for me through that workshop gave me permission to take care of myself in a different way. I'm still navigating and it's still difficult sometimes right now to use my arms. And so that's one of the reasons why I haven't been able to show up on social media the way because of editing videos and stuff like that. Sitting at a computer requires some kind of arm strength. But even being able to, as a reader to channel energy, I use my arms a lot when I'm feeling that because clairsentience is a very strong gift, right? And I like to kind of delve into as I'm feeling it come through. And so I didn't really want to talk about that publicly because for me,
Mhm.
opening up and being vulnerable that way in front of people who, that I don't know, um, being able to share this part of me um, was something that I always attributed to weakness in some way, right? Because I had that conditioning that I needed always to be strong. And even to the point where sometimes it has been to my detriment, right? Where
Mhm.
I've projected feeling strong and putting all my energy in that place so that people would see that vulnerable part of me. Um, and to be able to accept that part of myself and to give myself permission to know and trust that I was showing up for myself. People just couldn't see it, right? Taking care of myself in a different way, listening to
Right.
my body, asking for help, something that I haven't always been really great at, right? Um, Doing physical therapy here at my home, having occupational therapists come out and work with me. And right now, I'm still trying to navigate if this is a new baseline for me. And I'm still doing it without pain management, right? And still doing it without pain management because I was part of that whole opiate thing when, um, I was over medicated for a long while. And that was something that I didn't talk about publicly either, you know. Um, but to feel liberated and to know that vulnerability isn't weakness is something that I took away from your workshop on a very deep level and to know that I still have a purpose and I still am fulfilling that purpose by just being me and to knowing that it's okay for me to take the time for me to heal as much as I can heal and to work within the things that my body is experiencing without sending my body disappointment, and being able to
Mm.
send it love, um, throughout my course in this journey, right, with my injuries and how they affect me, um, and somebody who lives with chronic pain. Um, I've never been able, or I haven't had awareness, let's say, to send those parts of me love, because I always felt some kind of disappointment around it, maybe even guilt or shame. And that's not who I want to be, right?
Mm.
As a Capricorn sun, working in career is really important. So putting that
Yep.
pressure on myself to perform the way
The
that,
standards
yes, that I
super
think other
high.
people expect me to
Hmm.
perform, and giving myself time and, love and grace and compassion. I appreciate the workshop that you gave because it touched me so deeply and helped me allow myself to transmute any disappointment that I had felt, um, that releasing that layer of onion that felt the conditioning of vulnerability is weakness, and to be able to talk about it, not just with you privately, but be able to talk about it openly as part of my purpose, because what does light me up inside is to be able to inspire, right? And you know my personal journey personally, so you can understand it. But people that are just tuning in or just getting in touch with us, um, I don't think that I've really allowed myself to be vulnerable in that way, where I've shared that very personal, deep part of my pain that I've carried, that has it, physical pain, but also the emotional pain that came with it, in the disappointment in my body, because it didn't match what my mind thought that I could or should be doing. And to drop that and allow myself to just be and send
Hmm.
it love was so healing for me, right? Healing for me. And to know that I can show up. And when I do show up, I will give, 100% of myself. But then to also have people understand that I still need the time in private to be able to utilize my healing tools, and, everything that I have learned on my journey, to be able to transmute what I'm feeling, and visualize my spine being whole, and to send it love, and to not put time expectations on that. Like
Right.
I'm so honored to have
Thank you
the
so
wisdom
much.
come from you and the medicine come from you that I needed, you know what I mean, on a very deep level, to be able to hug myself that way and say, it's all okay. It's all okay.
Yeah.
And this
It's
part of
so
me is
important.
okay, to have people see this part of me too, not just the part that shows up with strength, but the part that shows up with vulnerability. Because if I can navigate it in a way where I can just inspire somebody else to be able to reach out to a coach like you. I'm not a coach, I will say that, right? I've learned that about myself too. I, I'm, it's that's not what lights me up, right? It's not, like, I'll be honest. I don't have the physical capability of holding somebody's hand throughout their journey, because of the time that I need to be able to separate my energy and feel my energy by myself, right? And
Right.
so another thing that your workshop did was help me to understand that there are people during our journey that are meant to be initiators or sparks, inspiration, and then other people. And you're very much another person that, yes, you can hold the hand. And that's not my thing, right? So I do want to promote coaches that I know are in service and have something of value because it's helped me, right? And I
Mm.
know that personally. And so that's what I'm here today. And with that, so I thank you and I honor you and I bow deeply to you for being able to bring wisdom forward that other people can help use through their journey, and having somebody like you that is so full of love and understanding because of the experiences that you've gone through and the tools that you've used, um, and the formula that you came up with, right? The her formula.
Thank
I
you.
love that. So let's
Yeah.
talk about that for just a second because that to me is
Okay.
fascinating too.
All right, I will. I just want to say first and foremost, thank you for being so open and so vulnerable. Like, I know how hard it is for us to be seen, right? We have this deep desire of being seen, but at the same time, it's a core fear, right? And we need to address it and we need to be gentle with ourselves during it. We need to learn how to hold ourselves through these times because life is not linear, right? We are cyclic beings, especially us women. And I could go all about the rhythms of
Right?
women and men and things, but we will just leave that to another conversation or another time. But we are cyclic beings, right?
Yeah,
We need to honor ourselves through it. And the best way for you right now, as an example, to just based on what you shared, to be of service to other people, it's to be of service to yourself. It's to
right,
heal yourself. It's
right.
to take the time and step out and give yourself what you need. And I think when we give ourselves permission to just be, to give ourselves what we need, we might feel like we're taking two steps back because we're not being productive, but in
Right.
reality, we're actually taking 10 steps forward,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But that's a lot of conditioning that again that we grow up with in our families, in our schools, with our teachers, our peers, our society in general. So that is pretty much part of what I do and the work that I do. It's just deconstruct all of that and heal those things that we need to heal. So, talking about the framework, her. So, I
Okay.
came up with her because I wanted something simple that I would be able to explain to people, right? Because it's that question of like, but how do you help somebody? Like, how do you guide them? And I'm like, I don't know. It's everything is so personalized. Like, people come to me with different issues, different questions, different things to work through. But if I can summarize it almost into a sort of a framework, into
Mhm.
a process, because it exists, right? The problem was to get deep into it. And my business coach helped me tremendously with this to actually boil it down to three phases. And that's when the HER framework was born. So HER stands for honor, the past versions of yourself, your story, your past, and then expands into healing and limitless possibilities, and then rebuild your life to match your authentic version,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So this is divided in three phases. Phase one, we uncover what's actually blocking you. So, all that we are kind of talking about, we
Mhm.
uncover the energetic blocks, we uncover the past conditioning, we uncover the worthiness, because a lot of us have those beliefs that we're not worthy, we're not deserving, we're not good enough, right? So, first phase is just uncovering all of that because that lives in our bodies,
Yeah.
that lives in our mental body, emotional, but also in our energetic body,
Yes.
right? And then phase two, we heal what's blocking us, right? So then that's where we get to the tools. That's when we start the work, so to speak. So we do a lot of inner child healing, we do energetic healings and channelings, we do shadow work, we do nervous system regulation, we do a lot of things, right? To heal,
Yeah.
really to heal deep, go deep into, because I have too many Scorpio placements. I have too much Scorpio energy. I cannot, for the life of me, stay surface level shit. So
Yeah.
I don't do that. So we go deep, and I hold you through it, the process, right? I'm right there with you. I'm guiding you. I'm helping you. I'm supporting you, because I know how fucking hard this work is for
Yeah.
anybody that says yes to their healing. Like, it's not an easy path
Yeah.
for
It's not.
anybody, regardless of what you've been through, regardless of your traumas. It's not an easy path for anybody. So that is, and we can talk a little bit more about the purpose, but that is part of my purpose, right? And how we can be so different, and that
Yeah.
it's so exciting.
Yeah.
And then phase three, it's to build self trust, right? Build that confidence so that you can choose the life you actually want, not the life your parents dreamed for you, not the life your coworkers think you need to do, right?
Mhm.
It's the life you want.
Yeah.
So, step three, it's taking aligned action after uncovering the blocks, after healing everything. Now it's time to rebuild the confidence. It's time to rebuild the sense of worthiness and deservingness so that you can move forward in your life or your career or pivot in your business in a way that really brings you joy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so beautiful, right? And because I've experienced it, it means so much more to me on a really deep level because I know it works. I know it works, right? And that to me, not just for you as a facilitator, but for me as a participant, to be able to experience something on that deep of a level when I was having trouble privately trying to navigate not being disappointed in my body for not living up to what my Capricorn sun thinks of the expectation
Mhm.
that I need to be versus who I am authentically and not being afraid to show that vulnerable part of myself. And if even if it just encourages one person out there to be able to start their healing journey, to accept themselves in a really deep personal way that makes the change that says, I am enough. I am
Yes.
enough. And I am
Yes.
worthy of the gifts and the purpose and the joy and feeling whole. It's interesting that I can still feel whole right now when I'm very much aware that there's something in my body that isn't working the way it was, say, 2 or 3 months ago, right? But I
Mhm.
can still feel whole and love that
Right.
part of myself and still know that I am living my purpose by holding on to that love and the love of my connection and trusting, right? Trusting myself, trusting the divine that it's all okay. And however the rest of it is going to play out, I can make plans, right? I can make plans for how I want it to play out, but then accepting when something comes in and says, you might have to take a step back for a little bit. And
Mhm.
to know really that that is a part of my design is to
Yeah.
step back and take the time to be able to process my feelings and
Yes.
to feel that so that I can then continue at some point, hopefully, to inspire somebody else to take a step into the healing realm and start releasing their layers of conditioning, their layers
Mhm.
of pain, their layers of suffering, their layers of disappointment, and everything else that, like you said, gets stuck in our body and our energetic field, and even in our mental realm, and then our feeling realm, right?
Yeah.
And to feel more aligned and to not look at ourselves or the things that make us human with judgment and criticism, because we did come here to be human. you know,
Yes,
you know what I
absolutely.
mean? We did come here to be human, and it's okay. I don't need to feel responsible for leading somebody through every step of their journey. That was the beauty of your workshop as well. When I really started to realize that and take the pressure off of myself, that I don't have to be everything to everyone.
Yes, you don't have to be somebody you're not.
Right,
You have to be you.
right.
You don't have to be a version of somebody, like a version of Cheryl that other people expect, right?
Yeah,
No, you need to be the version of you,
yeah,
your authentic version, because that's how you find your purpose as
yes.
well,
And
right?
that's what
That's
brings me the greatest joy. Y-
exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's the major clue you have. If you want to find your purpose, you need to follow what brings you joy.
Yeah,
You need to follow your passions. What are you passionate about? If you have no clue whatsoever, just start asking yourself these questions, right?
yeah,
What brings me joy? What am I passionate about? What is something that I do that I forget that time is passing by,
yeah,
right? Start
yeah,
with those things because that's the first step. It's awareness, right? We need to be aware of what is happening.
yeah,
And if we're not happy in our lives, if we're not happy in our careers, we need to be aware of that. And then we need to uncover what is in there, what's sitting in there, right? So
yeah,
then we can heal and then make better choices and change our lives because that's ultimately we have the control, we have the power to
yes,
change our
yes,
lives, our situations, our realities, right?
yes,
Nobody else does that. Nobody else has that. We have the power. That is the key to
yeah,
changing our lives, right? It's just recognizing that it might be buried under deep layers of conditioning.
yeah,
True, for sure. Like I've been doing this work on myself for about 10 years now. And I still need to go back sometimes and do a little bit more uncovering, right? Do a little bit more of healing because this never ends. I would love to say that it has like an ending, right? Where we can say, okay, I'm done. I don't have to heal
yeah,
anymore. I'm
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Like,
Nope,
unfortunately, it doesn't happen.
yeah,
No.
nope.
But what does happen is that it gets much easier.
Yes,
You get to spot it much quicker.
quicker.
You
Yes,
get to transmute it like this, and
yes,
it just stops bothering you. It
yeah,
stops hurting. It stops, right, feeling uncomfortable
right,
because you've done so much of the healing already. You've built the foundations, the new foundations based on who you are and your
yeah,
authentic self and not who the world told you you should be,
right, right.
right?
And you're absolutely right, right? During that workshop, it it became so evident, so clear, so fast. And then, I mean, I am slower, right? My North Node's in Taurus. We've talked about this, so I am a little sloth-like when it comes to, yeah, right. I'm just gonna say that, but I'm okay with that part
Speaking the
too,
truth.
right? Yeah, yeah. It does take me, right. I do need a lot of time on my own to be able to process it and work through those things, and and then really integrate it into myself so that it permeates throughout all of my fields, right? Not just one and then maybe two, right? Mindset, feeling, whatever, but to have it go all the way through my physical body and then the rest of my auric field was just I don't know. I can't say enough how excited I am for this upcoming launch that you have. So talk about that. You know, talk about it really quick. I mean, I don't know how we're doing on time, but right, I'm
Yeah.
really excited about this launch that you because it was so personally transmutive for me. It allowed
Hmm.
me to transform that part of myself that I didn't even necessarily realize was part of what was blocking me from really being authentic and being able to
Hmm.
share from a vulnerable space,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah. So, I have doors are open for my group program called Unlocking Her. If it's something that you're interested, you want to know more about, you can just shoot me a quick DM and I will give you all the details about it. But just very short, I will just say it's a 4-month group program. I'm only taking 5 women with me because this is going to be very intimate container. It's going to be very high touch. So this is almost like a one-on-one experience, but with the support of a group program that a group program can provide. So that's why I'm capping at 5 women max because I want everybody to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel held through their transition, right? Through their change and transformation inside this program. So enrollment is actually open. I'm gonna close the doors on Monday, and then we're gonna start the week after. So yeah, if this is something you're interested in, if you're ready to, if you've been listening to this conversation and you feel like, oh yes, damn, I need help. This is something that I need to do. Like I need somebody to hold my hand through this transition, through this pivot that I want to do in my life, in my career, in my business, but I don't know where to start. I don't have the clarity of what the next steps should be, but you also crave like support doing through this, then this is perfect for you. You also get 2 private one-on-one calls with me so that we get really deep into your natal chart. We really do some healing activations throughout the program. We do a lot of healing, we do a lot of practices. It's just, it's a lot, but it's everything on call. So there's no assignments, no homework, because honestly, we're all busy, right? And we don't want to add more overwhelmed to anything, especially because we mostly feel overwhelmed already. So the goal of the program is not to make you feel even more overwhelmed. That's why everything is done on call and there's no assignments, no homework, no nothing. Everything, every practice, every healing, every activation, every tool that I use, I do those on call.
Beautiful.
So,
I love
yes.
that. And to me, that's a very personal experience, even though it is in a group setting. And it to me, it also helps promote um, women bonding, making
Mhm.
new
Yes,
friendships,
yes, yes.
right?
That is why I decided to create it now because honestly, we just need to look around us to see the state of the planet and the world and how everything is so chaotic right now, right? And
Yeah,
this feeling of hopelessness sometimes that kind
yeah,
of sits in,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I think more than ever, we need support.
absolutely.
Women need to support other women. And that
Absolutely.
is why I decided to create this program right now and why I'm making it 5 people max because I want that deep, intimate container where we can just support each other and just be there for each other while everything feels so chaotic and so hard and so big.
Yeah. And thank you for that because I feel like the world really needs that right now. You know what I mean? I
Yes.
see a lot of hopelessness and a lot of fear
Hmm.
as things are really unsettling in our world right
Hmm.
now.
Yes.
And to have a safe place to be able to uncover and peel back the layers because we want to all kind of get to our true self, right? In that beautiful way where we do feel at peace with our inner self. And
Yes.
then that's the energy that we're giving out, right? Because
Hmm.
I think we both kind of believe, right? What you give out is what you give back. And I don't want to give out fear and disappointment and all those kind of things because
Hmm.
that's not what I want to give back, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We speak
Um,
energy. So
yes.
I understand what you're
You
saying.
know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I get
Hmm.
not everybody may talk in energetic geek speak like we do, but that's why you're able to bring it in such a realistic, um, very relatable, compatible humanness to how you guide and how you lead is so uh, that to me is a gift and a talent that I clearly don't
Mm.
have, right? Like you know me well enough
You
to
have
know.
many, 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 many talented. You are one of the most talented women that I have in my life. So I just want to
You're
say that. And anybody that's listening to this, first of all, you should go follow Cheryl's YouTube channel because she's amazing. And second, if you're listening to this and you've been thinking about creating a community, a group program, a membership, whatever it is, consider this your sign and go do that because
yes,
we need it. We need it
yes.
more than ever.
We need it
We
more than
do.
ever. The world needs it more than ever, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, you said it perfectly. I couldn't say it any better. Is there anything else that you want to add? Or how are we doing on time?
I think we're good. I think we're good.
Okay.
Anything else that I want to add? Um, yeah, no, I mean, if anything in this conversation, if you listened until this point, if anything resonates with you, Cheryl doesn't do one-on-one
Yep.
consultations
Nope.
or coaching. It's not her zone of genius. She
Yeah,
has a different zone of geniuses, and they're incredible. So the only thing I can say, just go follow her on her YouTube channel. Um, but if at any point in this conversation you felt like you resonated with anything that either of us has said, just reach out.
yeah,
We're here. We're just here to be of service. I think that's what I can say. So
absolutely.
yeah.
And your Instagram handle is at Healing with Teresa,
Yes.
right? And we'll do our best and to post
You
on
can have all that
Instagram, right?
information.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
that stuff. But I'm really excited for your launch, and I just, from the deepest parts of me, I want to bow to you and say I honor you and thank you for reminding me to honor all parts of me, and that there's no shame or guilt in being vulnerable, and that it's okay for me to give myself permission to love all of those parts of me. And
Yes.
by doing that, I am showing up. And then when I'm able to share it publicly, then I can do that without fear or self-criticizing, right? So
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I adore you,
I
and
adore you.
I adore our conversations, and I could talk about this shit for hours and hours and hours and hours. So
Right?
thank
Same.
you
And
so
we
much.
have. And right. I think when I realized that I didn't really want to like hold somebody's hand the whole thing, that I'm more of an inspiring person that wants to lead to the mentors and the thing. I told Teresa, like, I know myself well enough with my Mercury and Sag that I would tell somebody, get your head out of your ass, like that. That's probably not
And
the
we
most
love you like
sympathetic,
that. We love you
right?
exactly like that.
Right.
Yes.
But I'm much more okay with my role in that and not feeling the expectation that just because, you know, these other people that I admire and see are doing it, that I need to be part of that. And then feeling disappointed in myself when I can't show up for somebody else on a regular basis like that because my body needs more time to adjust as I allow for healing. And that was key. I just want you to know that, right? From a really deep heart space, that was really key
Yeah.
to me, and it helped me not put the expectation on myself that I know I can't meet, and then feeling
Mm-hmm.
disappointed in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yes.
thank you for that. I really do. It
Thank
really
you
touched
so
me.
much. Thank you
It
so
really,
much.
you're so welcome. And everybody, like, follow Teresa on her Instagram. And like she said, if you feel that this resonated with you and that you're looking for somebody who is a beautiful guide who can um, take the steps and hold a container where it's safe and um, able to give you the time to be able to shed what you need to shed to be able to get to that place where you feel whole and inner peace. Teresa is your girl, and I highly recommend this program.
So much.
Uh, much love, darling. And we'll
All
see you
right.
soon.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.